Look, I'm gonna be real with you guys for a second. Have you ever been sitting in a room full of people, maybe even people you love, and felt like you were watching them through a thick sheet of plexiglass? You can see them, you can hear them, you're even nodding along to the conversation, but you aren't there. That's what we're talking about today, the psychology of emotional distance. It's the glass wall of 2026. We live in the most connected era in human history, right? We have high-speed fiber, VR hangouts, and instant DMs. But here's the irony. We've never felt further apart. We're suffering from this weird resolution gap. We have all the digital tools to stay close, but we're lacking the emotional bandwidth to actually touch each other's lives. And I know what you're thinking. How can we have all this tech and still be exhausted by a simple text? It sounds like a contradiction, but it's actually a state of constant cognitive dissonance. We're holding two clashing realities at once: the belief that we're connected because our phones are buzzing, and the raw, heavy truth that we're starving for a real gaze. That gap, that's where the burnout lives. We've mastered the logistics of connection while losing the soul of it. I want to tell you about something that happened recently. Let's look at Sarah. She's a high achiever in Seattle. She spent 3 years in a long-distance relationship that looked perfect on paper. They had the best tech money could buy, haptic vests that let them feel a pulse from across the country, synced calendars, the works. But the moment they finally moved in together, they became strangers. See, they had high-tech tools, but low-fidelity intimacy. They used those gadgets as a buffer. In psychology, we'd call what Sarah was doing intimacy anorexia. She wasn't just busy, she was actively starving her relationship of her real presence because being hungry felt safer than being full and vulnerable. The tech allowed her to perform a relationship without actually having one. And that's why we're all so burnt out. Digital fatigue has reached a breaking point because we're on 24/7, but we're not being seen. A phone call feels like an invasion because it demands a version of us we haven't edited yet. A text feels like a chore because it's just one more notification in a day full of noise. We're spending all our energy maintaining the tools of connection, and we have nothing left for the person standing right in front of us. So why do we keep building these walls? For a lot of us, this is a classic avoidant attachment style. Our brains have learned that the only way to stay safe is to keep everyone at arm's length. Closeness is risky. If I let you in, I'm giving you a map of my landmines. Our brains often choose predictable loneliness over unpredictable intimacy. It's a defense mechanism. If I don't care too much, you can't hurt me too much. Philosophically, it's what Arthur Schopenhauer called the hedgehog's dilemma. Imagine hedgehogs on a freezing night. They want to huddle for warmth, but their quills prick each other when they get close, so they pull back and freeze. We're the same way. We want the warmth, but we're terrified of the ouch. We spend our lives trying to find that perfect middle ground where we aren't lonely, but we aren't bleeding. Sometimes, when a conversation does get real, we hit a wall called emotional flooding. Have you ever had a talk get so heavy that your brain just shuts down? You stop hearing the words, your heart races, and you just want to leave the room. That's your nervous system thinking it's under attack. To survive, you flip the distance switch. You check out to keep from short-circuiting. This is what Martin Buber warned us about with his I and thou. He said we have two ways of being. Most of the time, we live in I-it. We treat people like objects, like users, like data points on a screen. But real life only happens in I and thou, when you drop the act and truly recognize the living, breathing soul across from you. In 2026, we've become masters of the I-it. We're scrolling through humans like we're shopping for clothes. We've even weaponized therapy speak to stay distant. We say, "I don't have the capacity for this," when sometimes what we really mean is, "I'm scared of this conversation." We wear hyper-independence like a badge of honor, but let's be honest, usually that's just a trauma response in a fancy suit. So how do we break the glass? First, try micro-vulnerability. You don't have to pour your soul out, just say, "Hey, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed today." Open the window just a crack. Second, the phone-free 20. Give someone 20 minutes of absolute eye contact, no transactional talk. No bills, no schedules, just being. This is what Zygmunt Bauman meant when he talked about liquid modernity. He said we prefer connections because they have a delete button. A relationship doesn't. Choose the relationship over the connection. Third, name the wall. If you feel yourself pulling away, tell your person, "I'm feeling a bit crowded right now, so I might go quiet, but it's not you." Communication kills the passive-aggressive withdrawal that usually poisons our friendships. And please, stop ghosting to protect yourself. Silence isn't strength. And stop comparing your messy inside to everyone else's polished outside. You're comparing your raw footage to their highlight reel. To the citizens of 2026, freedom isn't found in isolation. Real freedom, as Kierkegaard might say, is the courage to be yourself, even when it's dizzying. We can stay behind our glass walls, safe and cold, or we can risk the prick of the quills for the sake of the warmth. Don't wait until you're ready to be vulnerable. Nobody's ever ready. Just be real, even if it's messy, especially if it's messy.